This is the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less. Ever wish you could re-listen to your favorite interview or segment? Do you enjoy hearing older shows for the first time in years? Then the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less is just what you need. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show.
Hello, friends and neighbors. John Solberg here, and I am your host for the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less. And for 17 years, the show hasn't been brought to you by Green Mountain Grills. Let me start over. But the show is brought to you by Green Mountain Grills. And for more than 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scenes in backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style firebox delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the pellet game. Their newly redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grills blend the proven technology of the past with the technology of the future. Don't ever forget, GMG is the original innovator of all things Wi-Fi, and they continue to give the user granular options to control their grills in any environment from anywhere. And what you need to do is head over to greenmountaingrills.com and check all this out and more. That's greenmountaingrills.com. Hey, Greg, introduce this.
And now we'll go ahead and race over to the phone and pick up the pitmaster of Iowa's own Smokey D's, Darren Warth, joining us back here on the show. What's up, clone?
Oh, just got home from the restaurant.
Big day?
Big day at the restaurant. Always a big day.
Always a big day at the restaurant. Darren Warth, pitmaster of Iowa Smokey D's, joining us here on the show. Darren, we look back over this past weekend, and you take part in the inaugural Sam's Club Series event. Obviously, a number of these going to be jumping off here over the last or the next couple months, culminating into this huge event. There's like $500 billion worth of payout dollars. Sam's really jumped on board the competition scene. So you were down, was it Gilbert, Arizona, I believe? Really nowhere near you. So was this one of those Darren Warth jump in a plane and rock star in and win the whole thing and leave in the cover of darkness, or how did it go down?
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly what it was. We hopped on a plane. This time, we really didn't have to borrow cookers. We actually had a roadie that took a trailer of his out that we were able to cook on.
Who gets credit for the cookers this time?
The infamous Jumpin' Jim.
Wow, Jumpin' Jim. All right, so I mean, we can start with how the contest went, but I'm not as interested as I am with the fact that you really fly into a lot of places. You're not really using your own cookers like a lot of other people that are really hitting the roads, putting miles on their trucks and pulling cookers behind them in some form or fashion. Is it really just a testament to you being able to cook a quality and consistent product? Does it take you time to learn how to cook on a bunch of different cookers? Are you practicing all the time on different cookers? Where does the consistency come from when you know you're not going to be using the same pit weekend in and weekend out?
I'm not sure that I'm not practicing at all. I practice a contest. But, it really, to me, doesn't matter what the cooker is. It's just a matter of being able to maintain the consistent temperature and then doing what you need to do.
What kind of a cooker did you cook on this weekend, for instance?
Well, it was actually a knockoff. It was a homemade cooker that was it was similar to an old Hickory fixed shelf unit. Jim actually had it custom built, so it had an offset firebox, looked more of it like a commercial pit. Offset, we burned charcoal in the charcoal basket with some wood, and then it was a fixed shelf unit. Had lots of space on it. It worked out great.
Darren Warth joining us here on the show. What's the weirdest cooker or the oddest cooker that you've had to rock star in on and do it?
Actually, when we went down to Fort Lauderdale, Florida a couple years ago, Craig from Firehouse Barbecue, I asked him if he could set me up with some cookers, and he set me up with a WSM and then a cheap little, I think it was a char grill chicken cooker that was, he had bought at Menards, the one that actually had or Home Depot, the one that had the roll-up shelves on both sides so they could go up and down with the fire.
Wow.
That was probably the weirdest one. We cooked chicken on that day. First time I had ever cooked on it, and we ended up actually winning chicken that day. So he wouldn't give me the cooker; he took it home. But
Nice guy. Never mind. So we go to Gilbert and take part in this Sam's Club Series event. As a whole, before we get into the event itself, you excited to see Sam's Club step up in this kind of a way in regards to competition barbecue?
Oh, yeah. And like everybody says, and Mike Ray was talking about it on the earlier segment, it's total about more exposure and coming on. And, Sam's Club, it was right for them to step up. Think of all the thousands and tens and thousands, $100,000s of dollars that get spent at Sam's Club every week by cookers. We bought a lot of our competition meats at Sam's Club. We bought a lot of our foil pans and foil and all that stuff has really come from Sam's Club. So it's nice to kind of see them give back and try and create a real national championship.
How did the event go for you last week? Anything out of the ordinary that you had to contend with, or is it just kind of same thing, just different city?
Oh, different city, except for, we fly down. The whole reason we planned was, we'll plan. It's April in Iowa. It's going to be crappy. We'll go down to Arizona to some nice weather. Really, did we find out that it was 20 degrees colder in Arizona on the day of the contest. We were pretty much in 45 degrees and rain with wind. So there was some adversity down there. It wasn't a real pleasant atmosphere as far as the weather, but everything else, you're out in the Sam's Club parking lot. Everything, it was very well run. It was very well organized. There was a lot of thought put into it. Troy Black and Kevin from MMA, they did a really nice job of coordinating. And also we had Mike Lake out there as kind of the event director, so we knew everything was going to go smooth.
Nothing out of the ordinary that you had to contend with, other than the fact that it was just kind of crappy weather. Nobody trying to put your fire out in the middle of the night or steal briskets or anything like that?
Find out what Darren had to say over at the BBQCentralShow.com. Link in today's show notes will take you to the complete episode. Darren Warth, just jump on a plane, go to a contest, borrow some cookers. I'm sure he carried his rub and his check-ons. Just think if they lost his luggage and he had to make it. The dude could do it. The dude just did it. And then some people would say, well, his barbecues are raggedy. Like, I can go on and on and on. Hey, thanks, Braden, for pointing me toward the Darren Warth stuff. Appreciate that. And until next time on the best moments of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 minutes or less, I'm your host, John Solberg, and I look forward to talking to you again soon.